Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is December 15th, 2021, and I am very excited to bring this update to you guys today. And I'm going to title this message, Bo Means It's Time to Go. Bo means it's time to go. Now you're going to see as we get into this message why I titled that, and what I mean by that. We are going to be sharing with you a lot of information, but very solid, very powerful, very clear, and very understandable information. And it's all going to make sense by the end of this message. I hope not to be too long, but at the same time, I want to be thorough and complete in my explanations, so we will take the time that we need to explain ourselves. Okay, I'm going to start here. This is where my last message ended, and I have seen something very, very clear taking us to January 8th. Well, at the end of it, it's going to be January 6th through January 8th. We have a 3-day window. We need to be very careful to watch, and I will explain all of that as we get into this message. So thank you all for joining me today. And this is not a live message, but I am going to be sharing this as a premiere. And so everyone who's joining us today, thank you for being here. Please share this message. Please like this, share this, and subscribe to the channel and help get the word out. Okay, we have very important information that we are sharing on this channel, Steve Fletcher, a trumpet for my people. Okay, we have a biblical timeline of 70 years from the rebirth of Israel. 70 weeks are determined, 70 years in a generation, and we have very important markers on May 14th, 2018, at the end of the 70 years, and this brings us to the inauguration of the American Embassy in Jerusalem, the declaration of Jerusalem as the eternal capital of Israel on May 14th, 2018. We have 1,260 days after that was October 24th. This was the day of Noah's flood, Chesvan 17. This is also the day that Dear Earth came out, a program sponsored and that had Barack Obama as its keynote speaker, Dear Earth, on the day that the earth was destroyed, on the day of the flood. Then we have 1,290 days. Took us exactly to the day that Omicron variant came out, shown to the world on November 24th, 2021. That's the 1,290 day marker. And if we follow this timeline out, then the blessed day 1,335 brings us to January 8th, 2022. Okay? January 8th, 2022. Now, I have found so much more information that is going to connect us with this, and you are going to really be amazed as we get into all of this information. Okay, January 8th, 2022. Okay, now as far as a timeline starting at the end of the 70 years, we do have the marker in Israel of the United States Embassy that was inaugurated in Jerusalem on this day, but there was another thing that happened on this day that began an agreement or a covenant or a plan that it was run by the United States, okay, and it was called Clade X. It's a pandemic exercise. This took place on May 15th, 2018. Okay, this was run by the United States and the world, but there's a preference given to the United States in the planning of this pandemic exercise, Clade X, okay? So on Israel's 70th birthday, between May 14th and May 15th, we had the beginning of a planning process that began, okay, May 15th, 2018. Now, to give you a clarity and the importance of what this means and how this is connected to what we are seeing now worldwide with the COVID-19 crisis, okay? How is this connected to the COVID-19 crisis? We are going to see that from May 15th, 2018, okay, the day that they had this pandemic exercise, 666 days later was the coronavirus pandemic declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization on March 11th, 2020. Okay? Is there a connection to the rise of the Antichrist, to a covenant that is being made, to a plan that is being brought forth from Clade X, May 15th, 2018, 666 days later, the World Health Organization declares coronavirus a global pandemic on March 11th, 2020. Now, this is going to be very interesting as we see how this connects to where we are watching now in January, on January 6th through January 8th of 2022. We're going to see that if we go, okay, we have a 3.5 year timeline that goes from May 15th, 2018, 666 days later, brings us to March 11th, 2020, the declaration by the World Health Organization of coronavirus as a global pandemic. Then, if we add another 666 days to that, okay, it's bringing us to the day of the Epiphany of our Lord, the Feast of the Epiphany. Okay, and here's our connection to Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay, Antiochus Epiphanes gave himself this name because Epiphanes means the manifestation of God. Antiochus Epiphanes, the manifestation of God. Okay, so what do we see then? We see that from May 15, 2018, adding 666 days brings us to the declaration by the World Health Organization, and then we add another 666 days, and it brings us to January 6th, 2022. So we're going to be able to see then that when you add 666 days plus 666 days, you will see that 1,335 days is only a 3-day difference. You add 666 plus 666 plus 3, and it brings you to day 1,335. Okay, so here we have the connection by of Israel fulfilling the 70 years, and then we have on the exact day, Clade X, the planning of the global pandemic that begins, and we have a middle marker, okay, that's bringing us exactly to the declaration by the World Health Organization in between this. Okay, and so we're seeing here that between January 6th and January 8th, we have these 3 days highlighted and bringing us to day 1,335. Okay, now let's get into this piece of information about Epiphany, okay, and the meaning of Epiphany and the importance of this day, Epiphany, okay. First and foremost, when you talk about the abomination of desolation that took place, and you talk about Hanukkah, we're going to see it's all surrounding a man named Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay, what does epiphany mean? Epiphany means a manifestation or appearance of a divine or superhuman being. Okay, so Antiochus Epiphanes chose the name Epiphanes for himself because he was exalting himself to be the status of a god, the manifestation of God, Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay, so this is the meaning of Epiphany. The full definition of Epiphany: January 6th, observed as a church festival in commemoration of the coming of the Magi as the first manifestation of Christ to the Gentiles, or in the Eastern Church in commemoration of the baptism of Christ. Okay, so the Epiphany is celebrated as the manifestation of Christ. It also means an appearance or manifestation, especially of a divine being, and it can mean usually sudden manifestation or perception of the essential nature or meaning of something. You perceive it, a perception, an understanding, an intuitive grasp of reality through something as an event, usually simple and striking, an illuminating discovery, realization, or disclosure. So it could also mean revelation. Like it says, a revealing scene or moment. It's the manifestation, or it's the revealing. It's the revelation of a thing. Okay? The epiphany. It's the revelation. Okay? Now, just to give you an understanding how Antiochus is a prototype of Antichrist. Okay? Connected to Barack Obama. Is Barack Obama the Messiah? Is Barack Obama the Antichrist? Okay, I want to share with you what Barack Obama said on January 7th, 2008. Okay, now this is connected to the same time frame. It's connected to the Epiphany. It's connected to another very important day, January 7th. We're going to see in just a minute. But on January 7th, 2008, Barack Obama said the following: a light will shine through that window, a beam of light will come down upon you, and you will experience an epiphany, and you will suddenly realize that you must go to the polls and vote for Obama. Okay? Barack Obama said this in Lebanon, New Hampshire, January 7th, 2008. And you see how he is using the definition of epiphany within his own explanation of when you experience an epiphany, you will suddenly realize, okay, and this is a sudden manifestation or a sudden perception. You will suddenly realize, okay, and you will experience an epiphany. You will suddenly realize. All right. Now, is there a coincidence that on January 7th, between the day of the Epiphany and what we're going to see next is Orthodox Christmas, on January 7th, that he uses this phrase? You will experience an epiphany. He said this connected to the day of the Epiphany. He said this connected to the day of Orthodox Christmas on January 7th, 2008. Okay, so this is a very important piece of information connected to all of this, and I wanted to give you that understanding. Now, the next piece of information I want to share with you is that if we look at the life of Barack Obama from the day of his birth, okay, August 4th, 1961, going to January 8th, 2022, we're going to see that there are 22,072 days. 22,072 days. Now, if we go to the verse number that corresponds to day number 22,072 of Barack Obama, the 22,072nd verse of the Bible is Daniel 11:35, and it says, "Some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. Okay, it is yet for a time appointed. And it's talking about the beginning of the tribulation. Some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, to purge them, to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. Okay, very interesting connection that on January 8th, 2022, this would be the verse of the day in the life of Barack Obama. Some of them of understanding shall fall, to the time of the end. It is yet for a time appointed. Okay, and I want to share a few more pieces of information with you about what we've seen in Mayfield, Kentucky, and the connection to the two total solar eclipses over America, making an X over America, and this is a sign of judgment on America the Great, Babylon the Great. It's an X across America, and exactly in the middle location of this, we have Mayfield, Kentucky, exactly where all the tornadoes hit, and basically the whole town of Mayfield was wiped out. Okay, right here, exactly at the center point where the two eclipses cross. The other thing we had seen about this is that there are 2,422 days between these two eclipses, and the middle point is 1,211. 2,422 divided by 2 is 1,211, and the tornadoes hit on December 11th, which is 1211. So we have a clear sign of judgment coming based on these two eclipses exactly in Mayfield, Kentucky. But the other information that we had shared with you is about the candle factory that was destroyed, and the original report came out that 8 were dead and 8 were missing. Okay, after tornadoes ripped through Kentucky candle factory. Okay, now thank God the missing people have all been found, but there were still 8 dead at this factory. 8 people died at the candle factory, and there were 8 missing originally, although those 8 have now been found. But the original report came out 8 dead and 8 missing. Well, the other report that came out, and we'll be able to see this if you go to the headline, the tornadoes death toll of all the areas that they struck and across all the states that they struck, the tornadoes death toll rises to 88, okay, including 74 in Kentucky. So we've got a double sign of 88. All right, we've got a double sign of 88 from the tornadoes that went through Kentucky. We've got the candle factory itself, which was 88, and then we've got 88 total dead. Okay, very interesting how this is all playing out, and the numbers that are coming forth from these headlines. Okay, now, is this pointing also to January 8th? Okay, the 8th day of 2022, January 8th, 8/8, the 8th day of 2022, day 1335 from Israel's 70th birthday. Okay, I'm getting into one of the most amazing signs on this day. Very important, very exciting, and I found this information because we've been watching especially over the last 2 months, as Venus in the evening sky has been getting brighter and brighter. It's just been amazing, especially this last month when we had on December 6th or so, when we had the new moon conjoined with Venus. What a spectacular sight in the heavens. And Venus is so bright right now. And we know that Jesus is in Revelation 22:16, it says, I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star. Okay, and the brightest star in the sky, or the brightest planet, or the brightest light beyond the sun and the moon, is the planet Venus. It's the next brightest star in the heavens. Okay, whether it's a star itself or a planet, but it's the brightest. Okay, after the sun and the moon. And so, in the evening sky, when Venus is shining, okay, it's very, very powerful sign. But then there's going to be a time when Venus shifts, going past the sun, and it will become a morning star. Okay, so I looked into this information about Venus and when is this transition going to be made. Okay, when does Venus go from being an evening star to becoming a morning star? And although it seems like when I saw this, I was really taken by surprise, but I almost knew in my heart that this was going to connect with what we are watching now on January 8th. And so I was filled with surprise, but at the same time, it's like, wow, I knew this. I knew this in my spirit, this would be the case. And so I studied this, and I found this information. When is Venus, okay, transitioning from being an evening star to becoming the morning star? And here is the key moment in time when Venus begins this transition from evening to morning star, exactly on January 8th, 2022. Okay, 2022 January, Venus into bright twilight, inferior conjunction. Venus sets at nautical twilight on New Year's Day 2022. It is rapidly moving between the Earth and the Sun, setting about 7 minutes earlier each evening. In only 5 days, it sets at civil twilight and then passes inferior conjunction at 6:48 p.m. Central Standard Time on January 8th, 2020. The first morning visibility of Venus starts 3 to 4 days after the conjunction. It'll appear about 4% in altitude, 4 degrees in altitude above the southeastern horizon during late morning twilight. Okay, so Venus has been an evening star now. I think the time frame on how long this lasts is about 263 days, if I'm not mistaken. 263 days is the time frame. It becomes an evening star, and that period will last for 263 days. And then when it's a morning star, it will be another 263 days as a morning star until it goes back. And this whole cycle begins at inferior conjunction, when from Earth's perspective, okay, Venus is lined up with the sun and then makes that line across. And this is why there will be a few days before January 8th, Venus will no longer be visible, and then it won't be visible again for 3 to 4 days after the conjunction, when it appears as the morning star around January 11th or January 12th, 3 to 4 days after the conjunction. Okay, so this time frame on this puts this inferior conjunction exactly on January 8th. All right, this is the exact day that we are watching. This is day 1335. Okay. Revelation 22:16 says, I am the root and the offspring of David. and the bright morning star. Okay, so as I said to you, I looked this information up and I was surprised, I was amazed, and I had a foreknowledge in my spirit that this would be the case. This is going to be a sign connected to what we are watching on January 8th. And so here we have on January 8th, inferior conjunction. Now I want to look at where this happens in the heavens. And I want to show you how important not only the day, but the sign and the location of Venus and the sun together on January 8th. January 8th, okay? Where is the sun? Where is Venus? This is the day of the inferior conjunction. This is the day that Venus becomes the bright morning star. This is the connection to that process of the beginning moments of Venus becoming the bright morning star. And it's in Sagittarius, which has a bow, it has an arrow, and it has a crown. Okay? Corona Australis. It has a crown. What does it say in Revelation 6:2? And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Revelation 6:2. Okay. This is the depiction of the white horse of the Antichrist. Okay. The seals are the judgments. It's the rise of the four horses of the apocalypse. This is the first horse of the apocalypse. This is not Jesus coming on the white horse at the end of the tribulation. This is the rise of the Antichrist, and it shows him with a white horse. Okay? A white horse and a crown and a bow. Okay? He went forth conquering and to conquer. Exactly on January 8th, the inferior conjunction of Venus and the beginning of Venus as the morning star. This is the sign in the heavens. The horse with the bow, with the arrows, with the crown. Okay? This is the sign on January 8th. As I said, remember it was on January 7th that Barack Obama talked about an epiphany. You will go to the polls, you will have an epiphany, and you will go to the polls and know suddenly you must vote for Barack Obama. Now, January 7th, beyond the connection to the epiphany and the manifestation of Jesus Christ, it's a connection to Christmas in the Eastern world. Christmas in the East is celebrated on January 7th, and this is the difference between the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar, the 13 days difference between our Christmas on December 25th and the Eastern world Christmas on January 7th. The difference is the Julian to the Gregorian calendar. Okay, so we have the January 7th is the 13-day difference. Okay, we have 6 days to the end of the year to December 31st, and then we have 7 days more, and it's a 13-day difference between our Christmas and Eastern Christmas. See, and Barack Obama said he would win the war on Christmas. This is all connected to the Epiphany, and we're going to see how it's all connected to the pandemic. It's connected to the 70-year anniversary of Israel. It's connected to the 1,335 days, and it's connected to the 666 days exactly in between when the World Health Organization declared a global pandemic, exactly in the middle of this time frame. So here we have a connection to Christmas on January 7th. Barack Obama said, I will win the war on Christmas. Now, okay, I said at the beginning of this that I was going to title this message, Bo means it's time to go. Okay? Bo means it's time to go January 8th, 2022. So we have here now, this is the Torah calendar, which as we've been watching for the last number of months, the Torah calendar most lines up with the actual day of the new moon sighting, okay, and the correct assessment of where we really are. The Torah calendar, there's a 1 day difference basically from the Hebrew calendar, but this is the most accurate depiction of where we really are is the Torah calendar. So we have the 4th day of the 11th month, okay, January 7th through January 8th. And this is, if you go to the Torah calendar, to the 4th month, to the 11th month, 4th day, you will see that there's a title on this day. It's called Bo. Bo, okay? And so if you click on that and you get the information of this, today the parashah is Bo, which means go, okay? January 7th and 8th, the 4th day of the 11th month, the writing and the meaning of this day and the readings that they have in the Torah describe go. Bo means go, okay? Now, the Bible readings on this take you to Exodus 10 to Exodus 13. And what is Exodus 10 to Exodus 13? Exodus 12 is the Passover. Okay? So when you see Exodus 10 through Exodus 13, you're going to see it's the dealing of God with the Israelites. It's the plagues on Egypt. It's the deliverance of Israel from Egypt. It's the Passover. It's the exit. It's the exodus out of Egypt. This is the Torah reading that coincides with the 4th day of the 11th month. Okay, Bo means go. Now here's the other thing that I want to show you. Okay, did you know that Barack Obama had a dog named Bo? Okay, he had a dog named Bo, and this is a picture of Barack Obama's dog. And this picture that I'm sharing with you was a famous picture that was shared on Twitter. And look at the location of Bo. He's in the Oval Office. He's on the Great Seal of America. Okay, and look at the location exactly of where Bo is sitting. Okay, Bo is sitting exactly at the arrows, right there. The arrows are all pointing to Bo. Okay, do you think this photo is some type of a coincidence? Now, when you look at Bo, okay, when you look at Bo and you look at these arrows, look at the sign that we see on January 8th. We have the sign of the horse, the rider on the horse. We've got the bow, and we've got the arrows, and we have the crown. Okay. Now the other thing about Bo is that Bo, in and of itself, is the exact initials of Barack Obama. Barack Obama, B-O, Bo. The day of Bo, okay? The day of the manifestation, the day of the revealing, Bo, okay? Are you catching all of this? Are you seeing? Are you seeing yet the importance of all of this? And now we are going to be able to see the importance of this official White House photo that came out of Barack Obama's Twitter account. This is a picture that was officially shared from the White House Twitter account. The Game of Thrones, Barack Obama sitting there with his crown, with his bow and arrow, with the eggs that represent the colors of the horses of the apocalypse. And exactly on January 8th, Venus becomes the bright morning star in Sagittarius. And I saw, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. The Antichrist on his throne with his crown, with his bow and arrow, going out to conquer. So what is the most important of all these signs to you? 1335 days from Israel's 70th birthday, the connection by 666 days, the middle point to the declaration of the World Health Organization as a global pandemic, the connection to Antiochus Epiphanes, the epiphany to the epiphany of Barack Obama on January 7th, the connection to Mayfield, Kentucky, 8 dead, 8 missing, and 88 total dead, pointing us to January 8th, 2022. Daniel 11:35 that says, some of them of understanding shall fall to try them, to purge them, to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. Bow means it's time to go. Venus, the bright morning star, exactly on January 8th. Orthodox Christmas. And Barack Obama said, I will win the war on Christmas. Okay, so we have our window between January 6th and January 8th. This is what I wanted to share with you today. Please share this as much as possible if you see what I see, okay? If you see the importance of what I am sharing with you, please share this information. I pray you're all blessed today. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.